Men over 60, listen carefully. If you wake up in the morning and your manhood feels lifeless, if that natural strength you once counted on is gone, it is not because you are old. The real shock is this: your body is not broken. Your erections did not vanish forever. They have only gone quiet, and with the right touch, they can be awakened again. I am Dr. Elena, a urologist who has spent more than 30 years helping men restore vitality, intimacy, and confidence. I have seen thousands of men in their 60s and 70s regain what they thought was lost, not with risky drugs or surgery, but with their own hands, their own breath, and a few simple minutes each day. Here is the paradox. Most men believe age steals their erections permanently, yet science and experience prove otherwise. Deep inside, your nerves, your blood vessels, and your manhood are still capable. The secret is not a pill, not a pump, but 3 overlooked points on your body that act like hidden switches. Press them correctly, and your mornings change. By learning these 3 pressure points and combining them with simple daily habits, you can restore blood flow, sensation, and natural morning erections again, without embarrassment, without dependence, and without fear. Before we get started, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful tip for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. Now, let's begin with the first and most important truth. Erections do not disappear simply because you are older. What really happens is that your body's natural pathways for blood and nerve signals grow quiet. 1. The truth about aging and erections. Let me tell you something I wish every man over 60 could hear from his doctor. The loss of morning erections is not a sign that you are broken, damaged, or beyond repair. It is not proof that your manhood has abandoned you. What's really happening is far simpler and far more hopeful. Your body still remembers how to rise in the morning. Your nerves are still alive. Your blood vessels are still capable. But over the years, the signals have grown quieter. The switches that once flicked on so easily are now resting, and the pathways that carried blood and energy have gone unused. I have spoken to countless men who lower their voices when they ask me, "Dr. Elena, is something wrong with me? I used to wake up strong every day, but now I feel nothing." And I look them straight in the eye and say, "Nothing is wrong with you. Your body just needs to be reminded of what it already knows." Aging does not erase your ability. It only makes it easier to forget the signals that once came naturally. Think of it like a room in your home that you stopped visiting. The power is still there, the lights still work, but because the switch hasn't been flipped in years, the room stays dark. That doesn't mean the electricity is gone, it means the connection hasn't been made. I remember a man named Harold, 74 years old, who came to me with tears in his eyes. He said, "Dr. Elena, I don't care about sex anymore. I just want to wake up one morning and feel alive again." Within a few weeks of practicing what I am about to show you, Harold called me and said, "I woke up this morning and for the first time in 10 years, I felt like myself again." That is the truth about aging and erections. They don't disappear because you are too old. They fade because you stopped sending the signals. But the hope is that those pathways can be reawakened. They are waiting right now inside of you. 2. The first point, above the pubic bone. The first point I want to share with you lies just above your pubic bone, that small stretch of your lower abdomen where the belly meets the pelvis. Most men go their entire lives never paying this area any real attention. But in truth, it is one of the most important command centers of male vitality. When I press here gently with a patient, I often see his eyes widen because something stirs that he thought was long gone. It is subtle at first, like a quiet hum of energy. But that hum can grow into warmth, circulation, and eventually a natural response that no pill could ever replicate. I remember a man named Walter, 67 years old, who walked into my office looking defeated. He told me, "Dr. Elena, I think I've lost it. I haven't woken up strong in years." I placed his hand on that spot above his pubic bone and guided him to breathe into it slowly, to apply gentle pressure, not force, just presence. Within minutes, he felt a faint rush of warmth. His face changed, his posture straightened. 2 weeks later, he returned and said, "Every morning I feel something stirring down there again. I thought it was gone, but it's coming back." What makes it so effective is biology. Beneath this area run key blood vessels and nerves that supply the lower organs. Over time, when we stop engaging them, the signals grow weaker, the vessels tighten, and circulation slows. By stimulating this spot with awareness and breath, you are literally reminding your body to send blood and energy back to where it belongs. This is not about pressing hard or trying to force an erection in the moment. It is about reestablishing communication with your own body. Your manhood listens when you treat it with patience and care. 3. The second point, the perineum. Now we come to the second point. This spot is called the perineum, the soft space that lies between your anus and your scrotum. In Eastern medicine, it has been recognized for thousands of years. In Western medicine, it is rarely mentioned, which is a shame, because this point holds extraordinary power over a man's circulation and sensitivity. When I first began teaching patients about this area, many men looked at me as though I were joking, wondering why on earth they should focus on a place they had always ignored. But I would guide them gently, ask them to sit on a small rolled towel or a soft cushion, breathe deeply, and simply allow their body to relax into it. What often happened next was remarkable. Within minutes, many men felt warmth in their lower body, a faint pulsing sensation, or simply the quiet awareness that something inside them was reawakening. I recall a patient named Thomas, a 71-year-old Marine veteran. He came into my office and told me, "Dr. Elena, it's like the lights went out down there. I don't feel anything anymore." I taught him how to sit with gentle pressure on his perineum. No forcing, no pushing, just stillness and breath. Within days, he called me to say, "Something's happening. It's faint, but I feel a pulse again. I feel alive." Weeks later, he shared that his mornings were no longer empty. He had warmth, sensation, and even natural strength returning. Why does this happen? Because the perineum acts like a valve. When it is tight and ignored, blood flow is blocked, nerve signals are interrupted. When you release that tension by sitting and breathing on this point, the valve opens. Blood that has been trapped for years begins to move freely. Nerve pathways reconnect. 4. The third point, inner thigh line. The third point is perhaps the most overlooked of all. It is not even on your penis or your groin, yet it plays a direct role in whether or not you wake up with morning strength. This point lies along the crease of your inner thigh, right where the thigh meets the lower abdomen. Hidden beneath that soft line are the femoral artery and nerve, two of the main highways that carry blood and signals to your manhood. When these pathways are stiff, blocked, or neglected, your erections lose volume and strength. But when you awaken them, everything changes. I remember one patient, Earl, a 68-year-old truck driver. He had spent decades sitting behind the wheel. "Dr. Elena," he said, "I figured my thighs were just for hauling me around. I never thought they had anything to do with what happens in the bedroom." I showed him how to trace his fingertips along the inner crease, pausing at tender or tight spots, and to breathe slowly as he applied gentle pressure. Within a week, he noticed something unexpected. "Dr. Elena," he told me with a grin, "I feel warmer down below. It's like the blood is moving again." By the second week, he was waking up with strength he hadn't felt in years. But what struck me most was what he added. "I don't just feel more in my body, I feel more like a man." The femoral artery is a direct pipeline of blood flow to the lower organs. The femoral nerve is one of the main highways for sensation. By gently pressing, massaging, and breathing into this area, you release tension, improve flexibility, and open the road back up. 5. Why these points work. By now, you may be wondering why these 3 points make such a difference. The answer is simple science combined with the wisdom of reconnecting to your own body. Erections are the result of 2 systems working together: blood flow and nerve signals. When those systems are strong and open, you wake up hard every morning without thinking about it. When they are blocked or neglected, morning strength fades. Think of your body as a city filled with highways. The arteries are the roads that carry traffic, and the nerves are the power lines that light up the city. If a road is blocked, the cars can't get through. If the power lines go unused, the lights grow dim. But when you clear the roads and restore the current, the whole city wakes up again. The point above the pubic bone reawakens circulation deep in the pelvis. The perineum acts like a valve, releasing the flow that may have been trapped for years. And the inner thigh line opens the main highway, allowing blood and signals to surge freely toward your manhood. I think of Leonard, 69 years old, who once said, "Dr. Elena, I don't care about sex anymore. I just want to know my body still responds. After learning to activate these points, he called me one morning with a voice full of life. It happened, he said. I woke up hard. No pills, no tricks, just me. The joy in his voice told me everything. It wasn't just about the physical change. It was about dignity, confidence, and the deep relief of knowing he was still whole. 6. The supporting habits. Now that you understand why these 3 points work, let me share something that makes all the difference. Pressing the points alone can spark powerful changes, but if you want those changes to last, you need to support them with a few simple habits. The first habit is breathing. Deep, slow belly breathing. I've seen men lower their blood pressure, relax their blood vessels, and increase their nitric oxide, all from 5 minutes a day of mindful breathing through the nose into the belly. The second habit is hydration. Start your day with a glass of warm water. After a long night, your blood becomes thicker. Drinking warm water thins it gently and helps circulation flow freely. The third habit is reducing sugar, particularly in the evening. Sugar quietly damages the lining of your blood vessels. I've had patients who simply cut out their nightly ice cream and noticed within weeks their morning erections were fuller. The fourth habit is movement. All it takes is a short, light walk after dinner. That walk activates your body's natural venous pump, the mechanism that helps push blood back up to your heart and keep it circulating evenly. The fifth habit is about how you treat your body. If you rush through the points with frustration, your nervous system resists. But if you approach them with care, with respect, your body listens. Together, these 5 habits form the foundation that turns 3 simple points into a lifelong practice. 7. Real stories, real hope. Whenever I speak about these methods, I know there are men listening who remain unconvinced. They wonder if these techniques are too simple. I understand that doubt because I've sat across from hundreds of men who felt the same way. But what I have witnessed has taught me something powerful. When a man commits to these practices, no matter his age, his body finds a way to respond. Take Harold, a 74-year-old retired postal worker. He came to me exhausted from trying every pill and remedy. Dr. Elena, he said, I don't need to feel 20 again. I just want to wake up one morning and feel like I still matter. I taught him the 3 points and encouraged him to be patient. 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice trembling. It happened, he said. I woke up this morning with strength, natural strength, for the first time in over a decade. Then there was Leonard, who told me he no longer cared much for sex. I only want to know my body can still respond, he confessed. He began the practice not expecting much, but soon he noticed warmth, sensitivity, and a quiet pulse he thought was gone forever. One morning he woke up and sent me a message. Dr. Elena, I know now I'm not finished. I still have life left in me. And Earl, the truck driver. When he learned to awaken the inner thigh line, he didn't just regain stronger erections. He found new energy in his legs and a calmness in his mornings. I feel more in control, he told me. I feel like a man again. What ties all these stories together is not just the return of morning erections. It is the return of hope, of dignity, of confidence. 8. The final lesson. After decades of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, there is one truth that stands above all the rest. Real change does not come from trying something once. Real change comes from commitment, from showing up every single day with patience and purpose. I have watched men discover the 3 points and feel a surge of hope, only to slip back into doubt when they stop practicing. And I have watched others who made these techniques a daily act of self-respect transform not only their mornings, but their entire lives. The difference was in their consistency. They chose to treat their bodies as worthy of care, to invest a few minutes each day in breathing, in pressing, in reconnecting. And over time, those few minutes rewrote the story of their manhood. What I want you to understand is that this is not about chasing youth. It is about stepping into this season of life with dignity, confidence, and strength. It is about telling your body, I still believe in you. I still trust you. I will not abandon you. When you do that, your body responds in ways that will surprise you. You will wake up stronger, you will sleep deeper, and you will carry yourself with a quiet assurance that others will notice. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to pause and reflect. You began this video perhaps with doubt, wondering if your body had already left its best days behind. But now you know the truth. Your body is not broken. Your manhood is not gone. What you've discovered are three simple points: above the pubic bone, the perineum, and the inner thigh line, that act like hidden switches waiting for you to flip them back on. You've also learned that when you combine these switches with daily habits like breathing deeply, drinking warm water, reducing sugar, walking gently, and treating your body with respect, you create the foundation for lasting strength. I have shared with you the stories of real men, Harold, Leonard, Earl, men who once thought they were finished, only to find out that their bodies still carried life, dignity, and power. This is not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming what was always yours. Every time you press these points with patience and breathe deeply, you are telling yourself that you are still here, that you still matter, that your life is not finished. The final lesson is that change is not about doing something once. It is about showing up day after day with care and intention. That is how men transformed their mornings, their confidence, and their sense of self. And that is how you can too. The power you seek is already inside you, waiting for you to awaken it. So, as you finish this message, make the choice to begin. Tonight, when you lie down, or tomorrow morning when you rise, find the points, breathe, and commit to showing up for yourself. Because once you do, you'll discover what countless men have already found: that your prime is not behind you. It is alive right now, ready to return the moment you decide to claim it. And when you do, you'll not only wake up harder, you'll wake up stronger, prouder, and more connected to the man you truly are. Remove these words: